Hey YouTube, Scapegoat here, and today we're going over the new Phantom Rage booster pack, the set that's coming out after Rise of the Duelist. Obviously, as you can see here, we are looking at I think it's Exceed Rebellion Dragon, but redone. And Phantom Rage, obviously I said it's the set after Rise of the Duelist, which kind of is confirming we're diverting from the anime, going back to older archetypes, kind of supporting the older archetypes, as well as making newer cards for new archetypes, sort of like Dragma. But before we get into this, please be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, be a great help. Also, we have Twitch, Discord, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. If you want to sign up for all that stuff, we do giveaways, we have big tournaments. I'll make a tournament video. We're doing a very big tournament with like really cool prizes like OCG Ultimate Rares, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Toei deck boxes, and all that stuff. Plus, you get a chance to win one of my scapegoats that you can see up at the top. But let's get right into the new cards. Obviously, you can tell we're going into some support territory. We're getting support for older archetypes. And then we have Raider's Wing. He's a level 4 Dark Wing Beast effect monster. 0 attack, 2000 defense. This card is always treated as the Phantom Knights card and a Raidraptor card, so it gets both little name tags. You can use the first effect of this card once per turn only. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can detach one material from a Dark Exceed monster you control. Special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. So just based on that first effect, either in grave or in hand, you just detach one Exceed material from a Dark Exceed monster, special summon it. So it's always good to have an extender, and this card is always treated as a Phantom Knight and a Raidraptor card, so that's really good too. And Exceed monster whose original attribute is Dark, as this card gain an effect as a material. So it gains the effect that it cannot be targeted by an opponent's card if this card is used as a material. So also a very good card. So you can theoretically use this in Time Thieves, right? As an extender to put under Redoer. That's actually really cool. Yeah, so it's just an extender for like dark decks that go into Dark Exceed monsters, or obviously Phantom Knight Raidraptors. Those are pretty good decks to use this in. I'm assuming they're like mixing the archetypes due to the main characters of that series, Arc V, the Exceed Dimension were like friends. But I think they're doing it. Phantom Knight Stained Greave. Level 3 Dark Warrior effect monster, attack 1200, defense 600. You can use each effect among the first and second effects with this card's name only once per turn. If the Phantom Knight's monster is special summoned to your side of the field, you can special summon this card from your hand, and you can increase this card's level by 1. So another extender. Extenders are really good. You can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon one Phantom Knight's monster from your hand, except the Phantom Knight Stained Greaves. Then you can increase its level by 1. So it looks like you're special summoning a lot with these cards, so monsters that you can't even normally special summon as well, they can just come right out. And their level will increase by 1, making them easy access for rank 4 monsters, or link cards if you want to make link cards. Rest in peace, Rusty Bardish. So the next card we have is Phantom Knight's Tier Scale, the level 3 Dark Warrior effect monster, 600 attack, defense is 1600. You can only use each effect among this card once, and second effect of this card is once per turn. You can discard one card, send one Phantom Knights card from your deck to the graveyard except Phantom Knights of Tier Scale. So this is like a Foolish Burial. Pretty cool. If another Phantom Knights card is banished from your graveyard and this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. So I guess the goal of this would be to summon this, right? It's not an extender by nature, so you could use it with the other one, I guess, right? Then you can send one card to the graveyard, boots or something, who knows. And then you link this off, you exceed, do some plays or whatever, then you banish the boots or whatever, get this card back to the field. And they all have the banish when leaves the field clause, but if you're overlaying it as material, they just go back to the graveyard. That's really good. It makes it so your link plays are a little more risky because you're losing resources, but you can just overlay and get your resources back. So another Raidraptor card, by nature. Raidraptor Heal Eagle, 700 attack, 700 defense. You can only use each effect among the first and second effects of this card once per turn. If the only monsters you control are Raidraptor monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. So another extender, really good for Raidraptors, right? You can banish this card from your graveyard and target one Raidraptor spell or trap in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So that's really cool, right? So not only is it an extender for the deck, which the deck loves the extenders, you also get one of the spell or traps in your graveyard back to your hand. So, and I'm sure you get rank up cards too, so that's good for reusability, I'm sure. But also, we can, if we wanted to use this, we could use this with the other Raidraptor Wing. However, it doesn't look like the rest of the Phantom Knights are treated as Raidraptors, so I'm not sure how viable it's going to be for that deck, but who knows. It's still a really good card for Raidraptors at least, right? And it looks like we have another Raidraptor card. Raidraptor Strangle Lanius. It is a 1600 attack, defense 1100. The same clause, you can only use the 1 and 2 effects once per turn. If you control a dark monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except dark monsters, so no problem for, Phantom Knights, Raidraptors, I suppose, right? Or any other deck that's using dark monsters, you just get another extender if you're dedicated to dark monsters. So the second effect is, if an Exceed monster you control has a material attached to, it was originally a dark monster, so, okay, you can target one level 4 or lower Raidraptor monster in your graveyard, special summon it, the effects are negated. Okay. So, pretty much it's just a monster reborn when it's a... Yeah, so it's like Monster Reborn. That's pretty cool. So it's just like a double extender, right? Pretty cool. So Raidraptors, you get 3 extenders. That's pretty neat. And so from just the main monsters alone, right, there's more cards. The main monsters alone, they're really good. They're all extenders, and they all have second beneficial effects. So they're very good. If you have Phantom Knights or you bought them in hopes of this pack was a Phantom Knight boosting set, you were doing really good. For the most, if you see these new packs coming out and they have a word in the pack that kind of brings you back to another archetype, they're probably supporting that archetype, given now we're going back to newer, older archetypes and giving them more stuff. So just a forewarning for that. That's what I did. I bought all the Phantom Knight cards. I did not assume Raidraptors would be a part of this, but Phantom Knights are just as good, right? So we have a new Exceed. Arc Rebellion Exceed Dragon, rank 5 Dark Dragon Exceed effect monster. It looks like a boosted version of the Dark Exceed Rebellion, right? Attack is 3000, defense is 2500. Exceed materials is 3 level 5 monsters, but I'm assuming the card below this is going to help us a little more summon this card. You can use the second effect of this card's name once per turn only. The Exceed summon of this card cannot be destroyed by card effects. So you cannot destroy it with a card effect, and then we have one of the cards up above that makes it so you can't target it. So that's going to be quite an issue to deal with. The second effect is the effect that's like wicked cool. So you can detach one material from this card. You cannot declare attacks for the rest of the turn except to have this card attack. Also, it gains attack equal to the combined original attack of all other face-up monsters on the field. Then, if this card has a material attached that was originally a dark monster, a dark Exceed monster rather, negate the effects of all other monsters on the field. So, right, you can only attack with this one card, but it does gain the attack of all other monsters on the field, yours and your opponent's. So if you're summoning this into a board of your opponents, and they have, let's say, 3 Cosmo Dark Destroyers or whatever, for whatever reason, this card's gaining 9000 attack. So it's going to be 12k. And 12k attacking into Cosmo Dark Destroyer, that's game. All other monsters' effects on the field are negated, non-targeting. Really good, assuming you have a Dark Exceed material, which you likely do if you're ranking up cards, right? So yeah, so all the effects are negated on the field, and then you gain all the attack and you attack. So this guy's like a game ender. You summon him into a big board, you attack for game. Pretty good, right? Also, it seems like the second effect is a permanent effect, right? Yeah, it doesn't mention until the end of the turn, right? So all other monsters on the field will be negated forever. So that's also something to remember. It's pretty much a continuous effect for this card. Well, I don't think it's really a continuous effect, but it's like applying the effect for the rest of the turn. For the rest of the duel while those cards are on the field. So the next card's a quick play spell, rank up magic Phantom Force. So quick play spell, you can only activate one card of this card's name once per turn, so only using one. During the main phase, banish any number of dark monsters from your graveyard, then target one dark exceed monster you control. Special summon from your extra deck one Phantom Knight monster, Raidraptor, or exceed dragon exceed monster that is N ranks higher. I'm assuming that's like a value depending on how many you're banishing, higher than the target. By using that target as a material, N equals the number of monsters banished to activate this effect. Yeah, that's like a new verbiage, right? I've never seen like N equals the number of monsters to activate this effect. Yeah, it's like new verbiage for a card, I think. So depending on the number of monsters you're banishing, it's gonna rank up a monster with levels higher than that card. So if you're doing a 4, you banish 1, I'm assuming, to get a 5. If I said that right. If you have a rank 4, you banish 1 monster in the graveyard, you summon a rank 5. This card is treated as an exceed summon. Transfer the target's materials to the summoned monster. For the rest of this turn resolves, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except dark exceed monsters, which these clauses don't really matter because you're obviously only really summoning these dark monsters, right? So this is really good, obviously, for this one, right? Yep. So we're summoning, banishing 1 to summon this, right? As long as I'm reading it correctly. And then you can also do Ultimate Falcon, I suppose, right? You can summon Ultimate Falcon. That's pretty cool. And that's really all I know, right? For like really good cards you want to summon off of these. If there's any other cards, feel free to let me know, but Ultimate Falcon and this new one right here seem like the pretty cool cards to summon. And then we have a trap right here. It's a continuous trap. It's called Raider's Unbreakable Mind. This card is always treated as a Phantom Knights card and a Raidraptor card. You can use each effect among these cards' first and second effects of this card once per turn only. If you exceed summon a monster by using a dark exceed monster as a material, you can target one card in the field and destroy it. So you have a once per turn card that can keep popping cards. And if you're combining this with the rank up cards, right, you get pops on your opponent's turn. So that's the one way to abuse this card. The second effect is if this card is in the spell and trap zone face up, it is destroyed by a card effect. You can target one rank up spell directly from your deck or graveyard. Oh, you can set one rank up spell directly from your deck or graveyard. So you get one card from your graveyard or deck and you can set it. So it replaces itself as well as destroys cards on the field, which is pretty cool. It is a trap, so you know it's a little slow to start up, so you're not going to get the additional pop off of it for your first turn. But if you're going first, you set it, you do get some value out of it, I suppose. But you know, this card's not so great opening it for your turn 1 hand because it's going to interrupt your combos and like gives you one less card to combo with. But it's still a good, like a well-designed card, right? You're getting pops off the card, so you're getting value off of it, and then also if it is destroyed, it replaces itself. I'm not too sure if it'll be played, maybe at 1, but I don't really see it as, it's not really as good as all of these other cards. All of these other cards are like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. They all have great effects. This card's probably like a 7 out of 10, maybe. Pretty cool. It's a good design card, well-designed card. And then the last card is pretty nice too. Raidraptor Phantom Claw, Counter Trap, right? So you can see where this is going. You can activate only one effect of this card's name once per turn. Oh, you can only activate one card with this card's name once per turn. So only using this card once per turn. When a monster effect is activated, detach one material from a Dark Exceed monster you control. Negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. If the material you detach to activate this card effect was originally the Phantom Knights, Raidraptor, or Exceed Dragon, you can your monster will gain the attack equal to the original monster of the destroyed monster's attack. So if you're detaching a material that's a Phantom Knight card, Raidraptor, or Exceed Dragon card, you're gaining attack of the destroyed monster. So let's say you're destroying a blue. You can't destroy Blue Eyes, but for me blanking right now, we're gonna destroy a effect Blue Eyes White Dragon. So in a hypothetical world where Blue Eyes White Dragon has an effect, you destroy it with this card, and your monster will gain 3,000 attack. So it's just, it's a counter trap that stops effects. It's pretty cool. It's not an Omni negate, so it's not negating spell and traps as well. But stopping monster effects is still pretty good. So there's always that. And then this is like generic dark support. So any decks that utilizes dark monsters, they just got a generic way to negate cards if they play Exceed monsters. So pretty cool. Similar to the trap, I think this is probably like a 7 or an 8 out of 10. The rest of these cards, all of these cards, they're really good. So if you don't have Phantom Knights, I suggest you probably pick them up. And Raidraptors too, obviously. They're, making support for both decks. And these are just the cards we've seen. So there very well could be more, right? They usually give a good amount of support for each archetype. But we'll see, right? So if any new cards pop up, we'll make a video on it. But obviously, like I just said before, these are really good cards. You want to make sure you get these cards before they start going up and get off the market, because they're all older cards, and a lot of the cards for these decks, they've always been like really expensive cards, right? Shade Brigadine, a card that is used in a lot of combo decks. Used to be a $10 card. It's like a $5 card right now. So I'm sure those will go back up. You have Boots, you have Cloak, and all that stuff. Those are cards that come in like 2 holo rarities. You can't really find them too easily. And all the Raidraptor cards, I know some are locked into stats just like Wing Raiders. You can go pick those up too. I think one of the Lanius cards or whatever is like really expensive. So definitely look into that. But that's about it. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think about these cards. I really think they're really good. So I'm sure there's going to be some broken combos within the next day or two with these cards, because they're all extenders, so your plays are like getting boosted tenfold. Really cool. But let me know what you guys think below. If you want to leave a comment, tell me what you think about it, alright? So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. And hope you guys have a good day. I'll catch you later.